Hello friends, and welcome to Figure Study, where this time we are going to be appreciating the style of Sentai. And yeah, I know what I said when I was talking about Zyuohger stuff, but here we are. What can I say? I couldn't resist. Anyway, today, taking a look at Zyuohger Dodekai-oh, the, I guess, big ultimate mech thing for the series. I don't know. Never watched the show. I just think the toys are neat. Anyway, here we have Dodekai-oh in his cube mode, and it is a large cube mode. Just get the size stuff out of the way first, because yeah. Here is Dodekai-oh with a regular animal cube. And they're all, like all the animal cubes are the same size, so you can see there. And just because, so you can see how all of the cubes work together. And then there's a Titan's Return Deluxe and Samus. So yeah, it is a big cube. It's, yeah, not small. So this thing is kind of hideous, if I'm honest. The cube, this thing is just, it's a mess, honestly. It compacts okay, but honestly, I don't think it needed to, because the other modes are really where it's at. I mean, I know this is more for the ultimate combined mode anyway, but like as a cube, this fails on many levels. Because it's not cube shaped for one thing. I mean, it's more of like a rectangle, I guess you could say. And it's just, yeah, it's not great. The red, white, black, and then a little bit of like silvery color scheme is fine. It's just, it's completely messy. It's not nice and compact like the other animal cube modes are. There is some nice detail in here, like just some, you know, some molded textural details that you can barely make out in the black there. And some in the front, not a whole lot on the underside, because it's the underside. But it's just, yeah, this cube mode is not great. It is kind of meh. I'm not sure what they could have done to fix it. You know, just like the way these stick out, there's enormous gaps. But, I mean, this is not why anyone gets this toy anyway. So, since the transformation on this guy is so simple, I'm not going to be doing any fast forwarding. But before we do the transformation, I'm going to grab this, the spear weapon or whatever it's supposed to be. There's some nice detail in there. Definitely going for that, going a little overboard with the cube motif here. And there's even some like slight molded details on the shaft there and along here. So yeah, that is the spear. Now for the transformation, which is just a matter of taking this and jamming it in here. So get that lined up, and there we go. And this didn't swing around. There we go. Okay. Let's bring this up a little bit. We're going to be doing a lot of adjusting with this guy. And here we have the cube whale. And that's, there we go. And that looks a lot better. Like the spear coming out of the top as like a water spout is just cute. I mean, you can do it without. And that's fine too, but I don't know. I think I like the... Can't find it. Can't find it. There we go. I like the splash of color that the blue adds there. But yeah, the whale mode is actually very neat. I quite like the whale mode. It's kind of a... It's like a sperm whale, but with baleen instead of teeth. Which is a weird kind of combination of elements. But it looks neat. It's vaguely whale-shaped. And if you kind of ignore this back here, you've got, you know, the tail coming all the way up. I actually think it's kind of neat how the, I think these are supposed to be like torpedo launchers or something like that, how those are obviously like the fins, the dorsal fins, not dorsal fins, the whatever the guiding fins are. I'm not up on my whale biology terms, but yeah, this is neat. I do like the color here with like the red primarily along the top and then the white along the bottom for the belly, and just that nice little silver for the baleen with like the eyes. It's, yeah, the colors are nice. The whale is covered in lots of little textures that all look great. Just so much little detail. I feel like this guy would kind of be like, I don't know if I want to do it or not, because it'd be a lot of work and I'd worry that it might kind of ruin the look of the toy, but at the same time, I feel like if I could go in here with, like, just do some panel lining, I think it would look really cool. A lot of texture. And yeah, this is definitely better than the cube. Way better than the cube. It's primarily, for me, it's just the whale face. I really like the way the face of the whale turned out, and the fact that it's so, like, it definitely says whale, but like it's still cube-shaped, so it still fits the motif. I think it works out quite well. It's a shame that the cube mode had to be so meh, but this is definitely neat. And for size-wise, it's pretty much the same as the cube, because it's just grew a tail, but just because there's Texture Deluxe, there's Samus, there's a cube crocodile, and a platypus. So the whale is also quite large. Alright, so I guess at this point there's not much else to do but get him into his robot mode, so we're halfway there already. Just stand up the wheel, and then bring this up again, because that's how this is going to go. And a bit more. Okay. And then you just twist this. And yoink that out. And there are clips that go onto the arm here. Bring him a little closer. There we go. And then for the face, just pull that up. And I've discovered kind of accidentally when I first got this guy, you kind of want to hold the head down when you pull up, because this is weirdly clipped into the torso there. I don't know why this comes out. Like, it's meant to. I don't know why, though. Just clips back in, but don't understand why they did that. Anyway. So here we have Dodekai-oh all roboted up, and he's difficult to keep in frame without pulling the camera back. As you can see, his feet are whale flippers, which, you know, it's fine. And that black bit kind of holding up the whale tail works really well as heels, so he's not in danger of tipping anytime soon. And yeah, he's okay. I mean, his robot mode's fine. I prefer the details more than, like, the shape. But, you know, it looks good. Definitely a bunch of red, like with the whale. What's interesting here is I almost see, like, two faces in the chest. Like, these look like eyes, and this kind of looks like a mouth, but then these are obviously eyes, and that's the baleen for the whale, so, like, the chest is designed to look like the whale face. So I don't really understand why, like, maybe I'm just misreading this part here, but that also looks like a face, which is a little weird. And as with virtually everybody else, I am kind of bummed about this. You know, it's okay. Like, it's not the first thing you notice when you look at this guy, but the giant gap in his midsection is a little disappointing. Just would have been nice if there was, like, you know, doors that opened or something like that. But then, don't really know if that would have been able to work. Maybe it could have, but anyway, I do like just the way that the color kind of gets mixed in here, where you've got, instead of just red and black, you've got the blue, the white, the silver, a little bit of the yellow. And I do like how you've got the blue and white for the shoulders that kind of looks a little bit like wings, but it's also like, you know, waves coming out. And I mean, it's a cohesive design element when you consider the fact that this guy's a whale. And of course, there's the fact that his head crest looks like a water spout. There we go. So yeah, it all kind of comes together in the whole whale thing. And the face is fine. A little bit on the small side, but not quite as disproportionately tiny as Zyuohger's face. So yeah, it's not a terrible robot. Not great, but not terrible. Okay, I suppose it's size comparison time, isn't it? So let's get the standards out of the way first. Here we have Samus and a Titan's Return Deluxe, and they are dwarfed by Dodekai-oh here. And for something a little more theme appropriate, here we have Zyuohger and Zyuoh Wild, and because we can, Tosai Zyuoh, whose shoulders are so big it's hard to get him in the frame there. There we go. So yeah, Dodekai-oh is definitely the biggest out of all of these. But what about how he compares to the combined modes? Well, let's take a look. There's Wild Zyuohger. So you can see Dodekai-oh is actually a little taller than Wild Zyuohger. But there is one more combination to compare to. And then we have mine and everybody else's preferred combination. Oh, I'm going to have to rework those. Come here, you. Okay. You back there. Okay. Maybe? Not quite? This is going to be tricky. Alright. Try it this way. Okay. So there we have Dodekai-oh next to Wild Tosai-king. And yeah. Not as big in this case, but not for lack of trying. And yeah, even though there's the combination with you know, Wild Tosai Dodekai-king, this is still the strongest one for me and several others anyway. All right, come here, big guy. All right, I think that about does it for Dodekai-oh. I think. Maybe. Oh, this guy's big. Yeah, good enough. So, Dodekai-oh as a standalone is fine. The whale mode, I think, is honestly the coolest of all three of his standard modes. That cube is just weak. But, yeah, the robot's okay. Definitely big. He fits the theme. He's got some nice colors and some nice texture designs on there. Some nice overall kind of motifs going here. It's just, you know, compared to what came before him, he's not the strongest in terms of just visuals, but he's still pretty solid. In terms of whether or not you want to get him, that is entirely up to you. I was content with just having Wild Tosai-king, and I'm kind of like, I still think Wild Tosai-king is the better looking combination, but when we get to Wild Tosai Dodekai-king, he's definitely imposing, and I think altogether he looks good on the shelf as one enormous combination. But anyway, that is going to do it for now. So that has been my look at Zyuohger Dodekai-oh. He's a big whale bot. Yeah. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. As per usual, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Any combination of those three would make me a happy Rob. And remember, art is more than meets the eye, even if it looks like someone took a hammer to it in places.